Hello, everyone. What's this? Oh, that's it. All right. Oh, this is a chat. How do I get that? There you go. Hello, everybody. How do I feel to get here? Time. Wait, good morning. Hello, everyone. Hi. I'm doing well. How are you? Good to see you all. Oh, there's everybody. How's everybody this morning? Happy Tuesday. Thank you. Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. Oh, thank you so much. What's the tea? No, nothing particular. Nothing particular. Just watching my my rival Philip Calvin McGraw, just out there. Not sure what he's doing to help people these days. Doesn't look like he's helping anyone, but hello. Cornwall, England. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. From Yardley. Hello. Who we catching now? We're catching bird flu is what we're catching. We're all going to get it. Kind of crazy that Dr. Phil could just, just do whatever he wants. I keep calling him Dr. Phil. That's money, to be able to like make people call you doctor when you're not a doctor. Bird flu must fill you. Oh my gosh. Was it ready for the revolution? I think everyone's complacent. I'm not sure if people are actually ready for that at all. But if people are feeling it, I'm sure. Someone said, is the Phil thing true? Well, what do you mean? The doctor thing? Well, he didn't renew his license, so he's currently not. No. Okay, you are. All right. I'm glad you are, man. What is Dr. Phil doing with ICE? Good question. Good question. It seems so inappropriate. Despite, regardless of what the people did, the crime is that they committed, if they've committed a crime. Because remember, ICE has detained people who have not committed a crime, who just look like the person. Because that's the law. They can do that. They can just arrest anybody who may look like an undocumented, or as they like to call it, illegal. They use that word on a human being to degrade them completely, so that you'd feel comfortable. When you degrade someone verbally, you're just opening the door to physically do as well. That's why you just keep calling people illegal. People illegal. Like colonizing wasn't illegal. You keep calling people illegal. That people stop caring what happens to them. So Dr. Phil goes up to this guy getting arrested by ICE, and they go, "Oh, this guy's getting arrested for pedophilia," according to them. I mean, if he is, absolutely, prosecute, full extent of law, deport, do whatever. I mean, absolutely for that crime, absolutely. But it doesn't change the fact that Dr. Phil doesn't need to be there. Dr. Phil has no business making content there. That's so absurd. It's so outrageous. I even said in the video, he might as well have been doing Renegade in front of the dude being arrested. It's I didn't see Tizzy's video. I've been so inundated with videos. I haven't had a chance to enjoy his videos, but he has great videos. And if you don't follow Tizzy on YouTube, he is on YouTube as well. Make sure you're following him there too. He's great. Phil fake. Yeah, CBS dumped him. He made his own. Yeah, well, he's got money. He's got money to. When he fails or when he has something people don't want, he has the money to shove it in your face anyway. Where is Oprah? I don't know. Look, guys, Oprah could be horrible on her own. She's not Dr. Phil's babysitter. Yeah, okay, what she did wrong was introducing the world to Dr. Phil. But after that, Dr. Phil's a grown-ass man. He could be horrible for the things he's done. He could take responsibility for his own actions. Not to say I mean, I'm not defending any one of these rich people. I'm just saying that like he's oftentimes I feel like a lot of his blame is shifted to her. Like Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil, god awful people. But like let them be awful for themselves. Like let them be let them earn their own awfulness. You follow Jolly Good Ginger and Mr. Checkpoint. Those are great accounts. Great accounts. Our Exorcist is on here too. On YouTube. Recommend that one as well. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well. The unfortunate thing is how deportation is being weaponized politically. Because that's scary. Like we've had this happen before in history. You know, we've had a parallel moment in history like that. Walter Masterson, yeah, Walter Masterson is one of the few people that I've met in real life. I don't meet any of these people. Like I don't meet any of the people that are in this. This guy is really desperate. Hide user on this channel now. Hide user, so they still have to watch. You still got to watch. You still have to watch all the stuff I do. I made you a permanent fan. You can no longer comment. Anyway, so what we're getting at. It's just a shame where it becomes politicized. And actually, that comment was proving my point. It's a shame it becomes politicized because then it becomes very clear that the political opinions that we're pushing back and forth on are whether or not we're okay with racism or mass deportation. Yeah, Walter's one of the few people that I've met in real life. I don't meet people. I don't hang out with people. It's not like I'm not really that social of a guy. Just in general. When I was in my 20s, I was doing comedy from every Friday and Saturday night. That's how I spent my weekends. It was performing for other people. Like I didn't go out on weekends. I was the entertainment for that weekend for whoever chose to come out and see that. So I've just never been too social, like in that way, like to go out and do stuff. But that being said, I did meet Walter while I was in New York. I stopped by to see him, and then when I was in LA, I stopped to see Stanzi, who's on YouTube as well. She's great as well. I don't need to tell you to follow her. She's got a huge platform. I'm sure you do. If you don't, you should though. Stanzi Potenza. They're both really cool. So as I move on, you're being political as well. Dr. Phil, just cancer on the body. I don't need to move on just because a no-name profile says I should. If you're trying to like make me feel like I should because of my engagement, that's definitely the wrong approach. My engagement's never been higher. Not on like on YouTube, this is the maximum engagement I get, but on Instagram and TikTok, it is crazy because people are looking for someone to help. Like everyone is, even I am. Like we're all looking for someone to help, and if anyone's willing to help, I mean that's toward people. That's where people gravitate towards. And if help is needed, I'll be there. Trump created a vacuum that requires a lot of help for a lot of people. You might like Trump, and you might be blind to a lot of the things he does, but the rest of us are not. And as much as you like in your head, you feel like it's all just not real. It is. It's people's real lives, and the cruelty is unimaginable, and we're not okay with it. Even if someone has committed a crime, small to large, you don't get to do certain things to them. They still have rights as a human being. There are still the Constitution still protects them from being tortured or treated cruel and unusual, and that is a standard that we need to keep. Sometimes these crimes are really heinous, and you may not care. It makes it easy to not care, but unfortunately, you open the door to allow the justice system, or the systems in place that we put there to bend the rules, to do that whenever they want. If there's no order to it, then it'll be, of course, it'll get out of hand, as it has so much, as it so often does. And that in itself is another issue that you can't sacrifice just because you don't like the person in front of you. There are certain like punishments, consequences that we agree on. And while we may not agree on some consequences for certain crimes, there are certain things that are in place or in law that is just like, as much as we'd like to punish them more for this, this is what it is. Unfortunately, we don't like that. We want to change that. We do our best to elect people to do that or challenge the laws. But it's not like just turn a blind eye. That's not the solution. And then furthermore, the obsession with not just deporting undocumented immigrants, but also in such a savage way doing it. At a certain point, you have to ask yourself, who's the bad guy? Like, what is their crime compared to the humanity you like? Right? Mother, I saw this video of a mother seeing how Trump had just suspended, this whatever immigration program she was hoping for, and I don't remember the exact one, but she like jumps the wall to get over, and she breaks her leg on the way down, and is sitting there screaming on camera. It's a mother, her kid is there too, watching her mom scream in pain, and all the comments are people on the right laughing at her, telling her to go back home. That's what you get. Now go home with a broken arm, leg, whatever. Just unimaginable cruelty for what? For the infraction of for the small, inconsequential crime of crossing the border. What, to give her daughter a better life? Trump had just said that the cartel is a terrorist organization. Well, then we need to take refugees if they're a terrorist organization. More so than ever. It's ridiculous to say to me, you're getting political, doing it political. Bro, we've always cared on this channel. We have always fought back against racism. We've always fought back against inhumanity, against unimaginable cruelty towards people, and we help them. And you've been there with me. Whether you're Democrat, Republican, MAGA, or not, you've been there with me. All of you have. All of you. You may disagree on some of them, but for the most part, you do agree that people who wrong should be made to feel whole, and that that there is a appropriate justice system in place that should apply to all of us equally. But suddenly, when Trump came around, you said I'm political. This is what I take issue with. Trump politicized it. You bought into it, and I'm sorry for that. I can't change your mind. If you have your own politics, you have your own politics. That's absolutely fine. It's a free country. You're welcome to have that. As am I. I'm also welcome to have that. So while I won't challenge yours, I also would expect you don't challenge me having it. You could challenge me on ideas. I don't agree with you on this, fine. But you can't say I can't do that or that I shouldn't do that. No. My brand's always been about helping people, and I will apply that. Whereas Dr. Phil, his brand's always been about appearing to help people. That's why he chose to use an ICE raid as a moment for content. He has nothing to add. He has nothing to add to that situation. There's no reason for him to be there. There's no reason why he gets to question people. How would this affect this person's case? It's very strange. And then you also have the issue that they're sending these people to these ICE camps. Private camps as well. These private prisons to work slave labor, which is legal. That's legal within our Constitution. You could do that. It's not right though. I mean, it goes against the Eighth Amendment, but I think it's a 14th or 13th, 14th Amendment says you can't have servitude in jails. So it said enter the country legally. So are you? Hey, autobiography. Okay, so autobiography. Oh, that's funny. Autobiography. Okay, don't mute or this guy's just talking. He said enter the country legally. Okay. So, are you aware of the legal process, or have you or anyone you know had experience with that? Did you yourself immigrate here? Because I have family that has immigrated here legally. The only person illegal, well, actually, it's not illegal. It's legal technically. So, my family came here legally. My parents did not. My parents overstayed their visa, as a lot of people do. In majority of illegal immigration, that's how it happens. If you're concerned about it, that's where your concern would be. It's not the border. So, by the way, I know what you guys are scared of. Middle East, Iranian. Ooh, got in without a problem. Doesn't that scare you, racist people? That's got to be scary for you, right? That Iranians could come in. Ooh, got you. You got to at a certain point realize how dumb this is. But okay. Anyway, so my parents came here. They overstayed their visa, and then they had me. So I was born here. Birthright. There you go. I'm a citizen. Trump tried to take that away. Trump, and you guys voted for him. Now, to be fair, I have every reason to be upset at Trump voters. I have every reason, but I'm still willing to have a conversation because you looked at me and you said you don't see me as American because of my birthright citizenship. You said I'm not American. I'm not as American as you. I don't count as American. You don't see me as American. You see me as an outsider. That's what you did when you voted Trump. So I have every reason to despise you, but I don't. I don't. I feel like we can still have a conversation because I do know that you're wrong, and we'll get there together. But if you choose to, if you don't, you don't. I mean, it's up to you. If you choose to listen, pay attention. So anyway, back to immigration. Now that was for my family that got here breaking the law. Now let me tell you about my family who came here legally, completely legally. So my grandma came here back before there was issues with immigrating from Iran a long time ago, even before the revolution. She'd already been out here. I mean, that was not an issue. But she was not a citizen. She became a citizen later on. And so all my mom's brothers and sisters, for them to be able to immigrate, they had to wait like 7 years after my grandma became a citizen because they have to use their mom's visa. So they would wait for 7 years. And it'd get pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And people like in 7 years is a long time. Like you progress in your life, whether it's going to a different school or, if you're a male in Iran, you'll have to go to the army because they have a mandatory draft. Now let's add one more factor to it. There's no U.S. embassy in Iran. You can't. You can't. And Iran won't let you leave. So how do you do that? Well, you had to go to another country. So relocate to another country temporarily while you're waiting for your visa to come up in the 7 years. It may just get pushed another year, a couple months. So you had to move your life all the way back home. Like this shit is think about how much this is costing. All the way back home, wait for your next day. And then George Bush changes the law after post 9/11 that says you can no longer come on your mom's visa if you're over 21. So all these people waiting who aged out have just wasted their life because now they're over 21. And they have to start the entire process over again. And that happened to family members of mine. Waited 14 years. 14, the legal way. Your entire life's on hold. And then when they're here, they're not citizens yet because you don't instantly become a citizen, right? ICE could still come get you, but you did it the legal way. What's wrong? You don't understand the complications. You don't understand. You don't know. You don't know. You genuinely don't know. That's why it's so simple for you to say, come here legally or go do it the right way. There's so many hurdles in the legal way that stops you from doing it that have nothing to do with merit, that has nothing to do with like fairness or anything. It's just in your fucking way. And then you're treated like a criminal for following the right way, doing it the right way. You get here and they go Muslim ban. Trump goes Muslim ban. And if you're not a citizen and you're trying to fly back in the country, it's not happening. Or they did actually stop Iranians at the Canadian border during the Muslim ban who were citizens. You don't understand this whole assigning crime to race thing is the very definition of racism. It's so like ancient ways of it's such an ancient I'm trying to explain this because racism is like a mental illness stupidity. Like it's just like the ultimate like lowest form of human cannot has to label people by like the first thing they see and base their immediate flight responses on that to just like, what are you, like a Neanderthal? Like why can't you function in society? It's so strange that you need to be racist. It's so strange. But anyway, so back to the point. This whole idea that now ICE can just say, well, you look like it. There's no better definition of racism. And you can't say Biden did that, even though like a past president doing something is not an excuse. I'm Iranian. I have a problem with every president. Every US president has been a problem for me. So don't say, oh, Biden did this. Oh, Obama did that. Yeah, no, I know. And I'm upset about what Trump did right now. You can't whataboutism me. I am upset about everything else too. So there. I'm even upset about Jimmy Carter. None of you are. Because I'm Iranian. Being Iranian gives you a little special factor where you could be mad at presidents all the way to Jimmy Carter. including Jimmy Carter. So don't even try the whataboutism with me. What Trump's doing currently right now is like Nazi shit. And I'm wondering honestly if it's the effects of long COVID. It's so stupid. It's so like we're at a point that I'm just so like flabbergasted and stunned and don't even know what to say about this like parallels of World War II Germany that I'm thinking it must be like long-term COVID, long-term lead paint exposure. It's got to be something. It's got to be something like that because it's unbelievable. Yeah, no, I know Nixon, Reagan. No, I know. But like even people who go that far back, they skip Jimmy Carter. Is what I mean. Well, actually, yeah, and they also skip over Kennedy too. Yeah, no, I've heard that too. Native Americans, indigenous people, are being questioned and stopped, and that is crazy. But here's the thing: you have a faction of you have a faction of MAGA, faction of them that are very much like just send out the indigenous people too, send out anybody, all of them. Hell, you had Selena Gomez crying about her people, about the way her people are being treated. It is a deep rooted pain to watch your people die. Like when I was watching the revolution in Iran, watching your own people die, it hurts deep, really deep, and it just lasts. The pain that she was feeling when she was crying, that's genuine, of course. People go, well, what about when it's happening to it, bro? She's feeling pain right now. She's feeling pain. I mean, if you had a problem with it when blah 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 was doing it, you should have covered it then. I'm sure she would have felt pain about that too. But you didn't care then. You care now. So don't stop trying to minimize the people's pain. That unimaginable cruelty. Now that you have people on the right faction, I'm not saying everyone is like that on the right, but you do have a faction that goes like Selena Gomez should be reported to. It was actually a state senator. It was a state senator that said Selena Gomez should be deported. Yes, she's American. She's absolutely American. It's like racists doesn't begin to explain it. Like that is just it's because her last name is Gomez. And because she made the mistake of showing emotion on the internet. Of course, you can't show love for something. You can't be sad for something without being turned into a meme. Unfortunately, which is the reason why I refuse to show emotion here, because I know how they'll be used against me. Unimaginable cruelty, of the internet. But like it's very specific to relating back to these racist policies. And then you have Musk hiling Hitler, guys. You have Musk hiling Hitler. Elon Musk throws it up hard, throws a hard salute, turns around, does a real, like, completely perfect form one too, in the back. Never makes an excuse for it. Never says, I didn't mean that. No. Nothing like that. People made excuses for him. For him. They don't even know if it's true. They don't know which excuse is true. They don't know. They're just saying shit. He's autistic. You don't know that. You don't know that. How do you know that? You don't know this information. You don't know if he's autistic, and you don't know if it has anything to do with that. You're just saying it. You're just saying it because you want to defend. Because you want to defend Elon or the salute. They're one. They're one and the same. Until he says, I didn't mean it, or I'm sorry, he's not. The mere fact of keeping that going shows he enjoys the pain that it causes. And when you're causing pain to a specific minority group, by doing a salute, whether you're joking or not, by doing that action to cause that pain and continue to cause that pain, you're being racist. Shouldn't have to spell that out. Should not spell that out, man. It still has the same impact whether he's joking or not. Whether he's joking or not, which he's not. He's not. He's absolutely not. And that was made very clear when he went to Germany and started saying a bunch of Hitler shit. At Germany, in Germany. He's saying Hitler shit in Germany. He says we need to what is it? He's talking about keeping bloodlines pure, which is proof, by the way, this guy was never like an engineer, scientist, or any sort of genius, because science will tell you that inbreeding is bad for you. You're breeding with your own race will not give you new or different immunities. You're not helping your children by only inbreeding. Eventually, time will take care of the issue of you, but but you want the most immunities. You've got to breed with people from other cultures. And one thing Musk fails to understand, which it proves that he doesn't have any genius. He's never been like diagnosed, nor do we know about him being diagnosed autistic. He just one day said he has Asperger's, and the reason he said that is because the person who started talking about Asperger's was a Nazi. That's why he likes that shit. Because Elon Musk was named after, also, by the way, a character in a book where the author is a Nazi. He's a Nazi too. Werner von Braun is a Nazi. Dad's a huge fan. His dad's a huge fan. So is Elon. But anyway, not a Nazi, right? At what point is it not Nazi? What point is it not Nazi? Like where? Where is it not Nazi? Where? Which part of it? Keeping bloodlines pure. That is some crazy shit. That is some straight up, like, undeniable white supremacist shit. Oh yeah. How about Trump releasing at least 3 groups of white supremacists from the January 6th prisons? That was pretty dumb. And I'm supposed to not care? Bro, who do you think put some of them away? You want me to not cover politics, not cover this? There might be some people very mad at me that have just been released. But I better not talk about it because it makes you uncomfortable. Because you don't like that your cult god, your orange Hitler, that is being in any way criticized. Come on. I'm so sick of this idea that if you've been victimized by this guy, you can't complain about it. Go to hell. Absolutely go to hell. Oh, my mouth is really dry. How much water do I got in here? Oh, no, I ran out. I'm gonna go grab. Do you mind if I go grab the water real quick? I'm gonna go grab the water. I'll be right back. My mouth's getting dry. I don't want to keep licking my lips on camera. It looks weird. Can I pause the live, or do you have to just wait here for me? All right. Wait here during this commercial. Can I do a commercial? No. All right. Okay. Okay. How y'all doing? Okay. Much better. Much better. So, what do we got here? So, one of the things, let me see what you guys are saying. I've been talking a lot. Well, Elon Musk is not a smart person. He's not. Like, I don't mean, I'm not taking a shot at him when I say that. I mean that he misrepresents himself. He's not a smart person, and the idea that he has autism or something, that is not something that he's been diagnosed with. He's self-diagnosed, but he also lies. So I don't. And he didn't say autistic. He said Asperger's, and I believe the only reason he said that is because he adores Nazis, and Asperger's, the guy was a Nazi. That's why. I don't have a podcast, but I do these lives, and then I keep them up on my YouTube. And then I also do have a podcast that's not like this. It's more just like investigative, and I update that when I can. I have a Substack as well, if you'd like to subscribe to that. I'm printing out news stories that the media would be too afraid to print out. Some personal ones, starting with some personal ones first. Um, Musk was, yeah, he didn't. I saw someone on TikTok say that he created Tesla, and I was like, oh no 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 no, not at all. Quite like the legacy of Tesla, where someone else took credit for his work. Um, he was more like the Edison scenario. No, he bought it. He just bought it. That's all he did. No, he bought it because his family's rich. When he was a kid, his dad had given him like gem mines. Bro is not like gem mines where you have like slaves working. Like the worst possible cruelest way to make money. That's what he was doing in South Africa. What part of this guy's life wasn't Nazi? Like what part? Um, Emerald mine. Thank you. I said gems. Emeralds. Dude is again looking for the Chaos Emeralds or something. Did Musk ever create anything? He created a huge mess in this country. He just wanted to be cool in front of the podcast bros, and they wanted to look rich. So they're all just both toxic on each other and just made each other worse. I really liked the podcast episode I did about podcast bros, where I was the characters, Alex Jones based character, sound like Rolf from Muppets, and the Beta Ben, which is based off very loosely, actually very strongly based off Ben Shapiro. I wanted to continue to do a satirical podcast from that, but not a lot of people were. I don't know. I don't feel like I had enough people on board for that, so I was like, I'd be just doing it for me, and it was a lot of work. I wasn't to keep the flow of conversation natural. I was not like filming all of one guy's parts first and the responses after that. I would say something and quickly change costume into the other character, say something else, quickly change costume, say it, and in editing, I just made it look like a swipe back and forth and make it look like they're in the same room. But I was, if you watch it, my hair never looks the same because I keep taking off a shirt. So for each character, sometimes I leave the wrong shirt on. The eyebrows on Beta Ben were next holiday. No, I didn't use the eyebrows for that sketch. I used the Beta Ben eyebrows for the Ben Shapiro video I did. But yeah, it was loosely based off of Angry Birds. So if you have a good amount of followers, you need to be on Sirius. Oh no. I'm just I don't. Thank you, I appreciate that. You're very kind. I don't think people. I don't think people need. I'm not that. Look, I got 100 likes in here. It's just 100 people in here. I mean, I wouldn't even say I'm getting like an average stream of people on here. It's okay. I'll work my way up. I'm not coming into YouTube expecting what I have on TikTok. Like I'm not coming in here being like, hey, where's my 2 million? No, I got to earn that. And so that's what I'm here to do. Like I'm earning my followers on Instagram. I'm climbing the way you're supposed to climb. That's fine. I'm almost at 400,000 there on Instagram. 2 million on TikTok. On Facebook, I'm at 30,000. Yeah, I'm building it. You got to build it. You got to work for it. There's no easy way to do like this kind of stuff. Like you got to just work for it. I'm also spread to more platforms like Substack and Red Note and all that, because when they were first talking about the TikTok ban, me being business minded, I'm like, well, that's going to hit my income, so I have to spread out my sources of income so that if such a thing happened, it wouldn't be such a loss. And sure enough, by the time the TikTok ban was supposed to happen, which it happened for a short time, TikTok was not even my main source of income at that point, so it didn't matter. I mean, it did matter. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like as like earth shattering as it would have been, because I planned ahead. So that you get more followers, you go on live bars. In general, you're right. I mean, in general, the more time I spend here, the more I am with you guys. Of course, I'll have more followers. The more attention I put other places, that's where I'll get other followers. No, I mean that's logically you're correct. And I did make an effort too. I noticed that people on YouTube, I'm also learning too. Again, I'm not coming in here expecting to be like the YouTube king. Like, dude, I'm a TikToker. I gotta learn how you guys do stuff here. So the horizontal thing. Okay, I get used to that. I see people set up shit behind them. And, stuff that's important to me. Like I usually have the desk in front of me, but I thought no, it'd be like, hey, thank you so much for that. Wow, that's incredible. Oh, thank you, MB. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. You don't have to do that. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Um. Anyway, so behind me I have a bunch of different things. I guess I might as well show it to you guys since this is the first time I have it on my desk here. This one is one of my favorites. I was going to, back in the day when I made this, I was going to sell this, but I'm going to keep it because I like it. There's this video of this woman. You may have seen this on YouTube. So I illustrated a book about her, a children's book, because I thought the viral video was very funny, but it reminded me of a children's book. And in fact, I may be able to pull it up if I have a computer down here. I don't know what a computer is. Well, the sketch is the video is Lisa Ann Whitmore Wagman. Lisa Ann Whitmore Wagman. If you want to take a second to look up that video and come back here, you can do that. It's Lisa Ann Whitmore Wagman. Watch that video and please come back. It won't take very long. I'll give you guys some time and we'll touch on it later. So to give you guys time to do that, and then we'll look at this book. Again, Lisa Ann, not that Lisa Ann, guys. Lisa Ann Whitmore Wagman. Do the full name. You search on YouTube, watch that video, come back, and I'm going to give you guys time to do that. So don't worry, you won't miss it. I'm going to give it like a good amount of time. So go watch that, and then we'll talk about other things here. I drew that. Someone was nice enough to think this was a slide. No, I drew that. I like to draw. We got The Moaning of Life by Carl. This guy makes me laugh. He's pretty dumb, but he grows, and it's fun to watch. He's got a lot of this is a very sheltered man with a lot of how do you say it? Like he's got a lot of racist and sexist and very traditional ideas about stuff, and it's challenged head on through putting him through a lot of hardship, and he grows. It's fun to watch someone grow through pain. Although the original show that he's on, the Ricky Gervais show, it's funny, but Ricky's a little cruel, man. But it's funny. Oh, hey, Netta, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You guys are too kind. I didn't expect that. Thank you guys for being so kind. Where's the other one? I didn't give her a heart. Boom. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, and you guys are checking out that YouTube video I told you, right? Because I need people to tell me they saw it before I go back to it. Awkward family photo. This is from the beginnings of the internet. Do you guys remember this? I still have this book because it's still very funny. Still very funny stuff. It's just books, just pages of people with awkward family photos. It's such a. I have some bookmarks that I really liked. They're just great. Just random people. Look at this. And we got Anthony Tamanik is a very smart man. I recommend following him on all platforms. It's a parody book. Oh, Finn. Oh, okay. Thank you, Finn. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But, I was referencing the 2009 incident around Netta. Oh, yeah, of course. So she got shot. That's amazing. Thank you. Okay. All right. Yes, are you guys back from this one? Where is it? Where's it? Where'd my Lucian book go? Not that one. Uh-oh. Do you even see where I put it? Oh, it fell. Got it. Okay. This is a book that I illustrated. It is based on the YouTube video. If you guys are watching this live later on, you'll be able to pause it, go watch the YouTube video and come back. Called Lisa Ann Whitmore Wagman, I think it's called. Hello. Can we flip this? Is there a way to flip this? There likely is, and I don't know how to do it. Sorry. I'll read it for you. Hello. My name is Lisa Ann Whitmore Wagman. She does this during a whatever, you'll watch it. I just moved here because I'm getting a divorce. That's where she moved. And it's not final until September 18th. You can see her going through the calendar there. My husband will not give me any money. That's him right there. Refusing. There's Lisa. Not one penny. Now, look, I'm not going to brag about my art throughout this, but I was really proud of this. You know, we all always have issues with drawing hands, but I nailed that one. If I could brag about one thing, it's like I'm like, I got that. The image that I wanted to get, I got it. Okay, anyway. This is all, by the way, watercolor. Watercolor, by the way, painting. That's why all the pages are like wet. The lawyer won't help me. Look at the cake on the lawyer. All right. I just need you. My husband won't help me. You see, same guy. Very unhelpful. Looks like Hunter S. Thompson. My dad, Marlon Lee Whitmore, a minister, won't help me. My stepmother won't help me. All right. You know, her dad looks a lot like her husband. Must be what attracted her. My mother died 7 years ago. My dad and Ann Hockhausen. Ma'am, we're discussing the rezoning for the Portellos. Do you have any comment on that? For what? We're discussing the rezoning for the the end. Check my book. Drew it myself. The writing was based off, of course, that viral video. It's the verbatim. And yeah, at first I made this a long time ago, and I was like, I was gonna sell it. And then I was like, no, I actually really like this, and I worked really hard on it, and I want it. So, keeping it, not for sale. You like the ghost? How did I do on the ghost? Beak might be a little too long for Hawk. And actually, I might have gotten that right. Anyway, glad you enjoyed it. Lisa, illustrated by Donish. I drew this on an airplane. Imagine being on an airplane and trying to draw steady. There. That was my first time, really, I was practicing colors. And I was like, man, if I get the colors wrong, I drew this with pen, like an idiot. But I was like, if I get the colors wrong, then the whole drawing's a waste. So I was trying to figure it out. I was like, okay, this would be lighter there. He's made of metal. Yeah, pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, but pretty good, especially on a plane. That's 0 for Mega Man X. What else do I have here? Wow. Hoverboard. These are supposed to exist by 2015, right? We have hoverboards, but they're not like that. When I first started doing comedy, I went to go see a comedian I really liked at the Improv in Irvine, because a friend of mine, a close friend, she's related to the owner of the Improv, and anyway, so she got me backstage and everything, and so I went and met Patton Oswalt, and I have a picture of them too. But I spoke with him and told him I was going to start doing comedy and stuff, and he signed the coaster and said, "Good luck." Good luck. He does not know how much that meant to me. I've kept it all these years, and it's been my good luck charm. Little thing he did was very, very impactful on me. I was like, I got Ratatouille's luck, man. I'm good. Ratatouille said, good luck. I got it, man. I got it. 714 in the house. Hey. Spectrum. That place evolved. My die set. These are my die. They're nice. I don't let anyone. Oh, my D20's gone. God damn it. My D20's missing. My son took it. I know my son took my D20. Anyway. I like this cell. This was very easy to make, obviously. I didn't make it. Someone at Comic-Con made it. And I was so frustrated because, like, this is such an easy idea. And I know I'm going to pay for it. I know I'm going to buy this, which I wish I won't because I could just make this. This is so easy to make. You just put you put this in the back, right? And then on the front, you put the resin here. On the front, you put these images, you get that effect. Great idea. Great idea. But I'm going to pay for it because it's here and I'm impressed. And I did. And I bought it, even though this was such an easy idea to make. But I like it. It's good. Ask about Riverside Police's hoverboards. Oh my God, how embarrassing. And, because I'm Persian, I need to have my Persian rug. But this whole thing's a mouse pad, so I really don't need it. It's just decoration. That's my desk. Oh, and a YouTube award. Hey. That's cool. I got that too. I had a ton of other stuff that I want to put there. I don't know how to. You know what would look good there? Actually, one more thing. This. Accountability culture, not cancel culture. Lisa. Lisa's gone. Oh, I can't see it. I don't wear hats, so. Okay. How are the stalkers you've been dealing with? Guys, I got to tell you about this. It is nuts. So I'm suing them, as you know, for $5 million more. Its case is worth so much more than that. But at least $5 million. Any other punitive damages, we'll see. But, and I deserve way more. And I'll tell you why. They have been still doing everything they started 3 years ago. They're still doing it to this day. They've been doing it more while during the court case. This is not a polar bear on my arm. It's a brown bear. It's a California bear. Ooh, just cracked that. That's my home. Anyway, so someone said accountability and comedy. Boo this man. What? Someone's having trouble with their English. Try rephrasing that. Anyway, after all Lisa's gone through, man, I forgot what I was talking about. I have such bad ADHD. I don't say that as a joke. I actually do. When I get sidetracked, I remember my case. So, they from the beginning, where we started in the beginning, when I was going to sue them, when I was raising money to do that, they sued me immediately because their plan was, Joey told them they hired this stalker to harass me nonstop, and he just kept telling me what they're going to do. So I knew, and they would do it. So I knew what they were going to do before they do it because they would just tell me. And so they said, we're going to sue you and to waste your time, even though they have no case against me because they were stalking me for 3 years and I didn't even respond or anything. We're going to sue you to waste your time so you can't sue, waste your money. So I was like, oh, well, knowing that, okay, well, I'm going to raise money to sue you. So I raised money, and thankfully my followers, they helped out. I was able to hire a lawyer, and their Jennifer Couture's case was dismissed with prejudice, means she cannot file again. Not only does she have no case, but she cannot even, she has absolutely no case. She appealed, they said absolutely no. And as for the rest of it, so they basically tried to put it on, they try to say, oh, well, you did damage to the business. What damage did I do to the business? Well, because she was identified for working at Guerrero Plastic Surgery. Yeah, no one was, so it was actually Jennifer Couture hopping, or whoever it was, on Guerrero Plastic Surgery's account under their reviews, doxing me. Why was the company doxing me under their reviews? Why were they talking about me? Why? They were defaming me. The company himself has been involved. But, so I'm suing all their companies as well. Many of the companies, if you look at the lawsuit, it's many, many companies. We found all of them. Um, and anyway, so one of the things that we are suing for is that they repeatedly called fake calls into CPS, and they had their employees do that as well. And of course, luckily it did not result in like my kids being taken away or anything. I'm a very good parent. I was, not to say that CPS always does the right thing, but I was like, look around the house, talk to my kid. Like there's nothing to worry about here. We don't even use physical punishment. There's nothing to worry about. So, that was cleared immediately. Plus, also, when the person reporting you is a psychopath, it's kind of hard for people to take it seriously. But one of the things they were suing me for is that I guess CPS was called on them and their kid got taken away. And they thought I called them. I was like, girl, I think yours was legitimate. I think that was legitimate. Like, if they got taken away, like whoever called did the right thing. I mean, it's not your place to actually sue about that. And so anyway, then of course they tried to twist the story in many other ways, but the issue was with this, they were having, hello, I think I missed you guys for a moment there. My lawyer's name was Robson Powers, and Joey Camp threatened his wife and child to a point where he withdrew. And he even wrote in the withdrawal that it was because of Joey Camp, coming after his wife and kids. So he absolutely interfered in a federal court case. But and while that is a gigantic crime, such a huge crime, bigger than any other crimes that they've committed here, they maintained that they did not know Joey Camp. We don't know him. He's just some guy doing stuff. We don't know him. Well, the case progressed, and we're at a point where we found proof that not only do they know Joey Camp, but he is an employee. They called him a close friend. They said they're like going to live with him when they come visit him in Belize and stuff. They employed him. They paid him. We found all this evidence. I would have assumed the judge would have been like, "Oh shit! So you guys were a part of what happened earlier with this lawyer. All of you go to jail." That's what I would have assumed to happen, and case get defaulted. That's what I assumed would happen in normal world. But the judge in his infinite wisdom, of course, knows what they're doing, and so we're going to see what they have planned. Maybe they're giving them enough rope to hang themselves with. We'll see. Well, I'm confident in my case, and I'm confident in how it's going. So now we have the part where we're trying to accumulate damages, because everything that we accuse them of that they said they didn't do, at this point they've had to admit to doing it. Well, like their insurance companies and stuff had to admit to doing it. They did it. Which means that this affluent couple from Fort Myers actually came all the way to Pennsylvania, skipped their kids' graduation from Bucknell, just skipped it, or like left early or something, I don't know, to come and try to harass my children, who were 1 and 5 at the time, and take pictures of them candidly while I was outside playing with them, then have Joey send me those pictures with sexual threats against those children. Jennifer Couture, Ralph Garamond of Garamond Plastic Surgery will forever be known for doing that. Realize I'm currently in a defamation suit, and I can say this without penalty because it's true, because they did it, because it happened. That should tell you a lot. But anyway, so they try to politicize it. They try to say Trump, this guy only comes after me because he hates Trump. I'm like, no, my page is like, while I have my own political opinions, and I'm free to have that, my page is about helping everyone across the aisle. Like if a Trump supporter came up to me and said, hey, help me out, I'm going to help them. I'll help anybody who needs help. That's the point. I mean, that's what I do here. Just because right now the people who need help are, people who are being attacked by this administration doesn't mean that I'm political. It means that you guys politicize certain things. But to make it very specific, in Jennifer's case, the victim was also a Trump supporter. The witnesses against Jennifer are Trump supporters. Everyone involved in this case, except for me, is a Trump supporter. This is not political. It's not political. It's bizarre to even say that. So, that avenue is not, of course, going to work. Then their lawyer participated in the harassment as well, and it was really difficult when I had to do a deposition, be in a room with the person. This is a person who's violated my life, my family, my children, my wife. Like, this is a person that, like, I feel absolute anger and hatred towards, and I'm put in a room with him because the judge in his infinite wisdom did not think I needed protection from that, from the lawyer, former Proud Boys, current Proud Boys, who are now released from jail. I suppose maybe they knew something I didn't know. But of course, that's trust. I'm trusting the process. Yes, of course I'm going after his bar. Absolutely. The guy who was attacking me nonstop, but I can't do it while I'm in a court case with him. They won't look at his, they won't look at my bar complaint until after the case, because I'm in a case with them. So anyway, he was horrible and ruthless at this deposition as he tried to gaslight me. It absolutely backfired. He did not expect for me to be able to speak my mind clearly, much better than him. I caught him so many times tripping up and admitting to things that it was almost like I was able to stop him from being able to go down certain like one time, for example, he said, "Didn't you claim that this person's a stalker? Didn't you claim this person's a stalker? Didn't you claim this person's a stalker?" And I said, if you're going to go down the line and say you call everybody a stalker, how should we take you seriously when you say my client's a stalker? These are all people who have worked with your client. So I'm just going to say that your client has been stalking me. Anyone she decided to work with, sure, they could be stalkers too, but this is about your client. And he said, "Well, so is this person a stalker too? Is this person a stalker?" I'm like, "Are you just naming your co-conspirators?" And he goes, "Let's move on." I'm like, "Okay." Like, completely stopped that in its tracks. He tried to go down this line of by the way, what kind of horrible piece of shit does that? "Didn't you call that person a stalker? Didn't you call that person a stalker?" Yeah, fucker, you made all of them stalk me. That's why I called them that. But like, I wouldn't even answer the individual ones, because I was like, "Look, dude, if you're just naming co-conspirators, I'll take note of that. But your client's the one who stalked me, and everyone, including yourself, co-conspired to do so." That didn't work. That line of questioning didn't work. We wanted to move on. He said, "Over here, you gave your friend here money in Cash App, and in the description it says tits." Like, "Yep." "Are you soliciting?" I'm like, "Bro, what? Are you soliciting things from people?" It was actually against my friend, our ex-phys. "Are you soliciting nudes?" I'm like, "Bro, one, she's on OnlyFans. Two, your client rated her OnlyFans and posted all of them everywhere. So I wouldn't need to pay for such a thing because you guys revenge porned her." And he goes, I'm like, "No, I said, look at my other messages. Look at this message here. What does this say?" He goes, "Cocks." I'm like, "Yeah, it says cocks." And over here it says tits. I'm vulgar on my Cash App, like, descriptions. It's funny to be vulgar. Everyone does that, to be quite honest. We say ridiculous things in Cash App and Venmo descriptions. You idiots. If I wanted nudes, I'd go to OnlyFans. That is such a strange thing to try to accuse me of in the middle of this deposition. Like, I made sure he understood, like, the anyone reading this will understand, this is weird. Why are you trying to pretend to even sue me? Are you still looking for a case? So I continuously kept saying, because this was unprofessional. Now, also, all the questions he was asking me were at full volume. He was screaming. He was screaming at me, the court reporter. He was frustrated. He was frustrated because his tactics, his lies, and his all immediately stopped in their tracks. My lawyer was really good too. Every time he started asking things he couldn't ask, it'd stop him right away. "You can't do that. Can't. No. What you didn't see was what happened afterwards. Now, I'm sorry, you didn't see any of it, but the entire deposition is available online. I posted some of it on my TikTok and on my Instagram. It's pinned to my Instagram. You can see it. It's the very end of it where I catch him. He says something about, he was on a white supremacist podcast, and he said to me that, "How do you know those hosts are white supremacists?" I'm like, "They literally say, I'm not afraid of being called a white supremacist." So he's like, what have they done that that makes them a white supremacist? Anybody could just say anything. It doesn't mean you are. I'm like, "Well, they said I'm not afraid of being called a white supremacist." So I'd probably start there with that. And he loses his mind. He says, "You got nothing. You just brought me here to slander your name." And I said, "Sir, that's not true. It's impossible to slander your name. Your name has no value." Then he was done. He ended it. And remember, like, I'm not like having fun. I'm frustrated. This is how I express frustration, through sarcasm, through you know, he's a moron, so it's easy to run laps around him. If I'm being quite honest, it's really easy to run laps around a moron. So yeah, okay. Let me be fair. This is a waste of my time. They should never be suing me anyway. They have no case. They harmed me. I have every reason to be upset and mad. I shouldn't even be there in a room with this guy. So yeah, I defended myself the best way I know how, which was making him not make him feel like an idiot. He is an idiot. Having him realize that. Anyway, so then after the camera turned off, he said, "You some doxing." I'm like, bro, the only person in this room that's ever doxed is you. Oh, hello? I think you guys lost me. Hello. So I said to him, if you ever want the definition of doxing, just look at what you do and look at what I do. That's the difference. You guys target children, and you guys are going to go to jail for it, whereas I'm not, because I'm not like you. And he said, and he's screaming at me, this lawyer, he says, you target children too. And I was like, motherfucker came for my kids and is now trying to say it. So I just stand up, get right in his face, right this close. And I said, when have I ever gone after a child? He goes, you went after Jennifer's kids. Like, she's on our side. He's like, what? Completely sorry. He's like, who told you that? Who told you that? I'm like, she's on our side. I've never gone after a kid. Only you guys do that. And he said, he's like, I'm not one of your followers. You little, what did he say? He got like really angry. He started screaming. Like, and I got closer. Like I was, dude, this guy just, oh man, he just needed to give me a reason. Well, no, I had a reason. I didn't do it because I've controlled my impulses. I'm not like Jennifer and Patrick and all them. I have absolute control of my impulses, and I didn't do anything but be very upset. But I did get closer when I was speaking to him because he was pushing my buttons, and when I stood up to him, by the way. So I don't know if you could tell how tall I am through these videos, but I'm over 6 feet tall. I am much taller than this lawyer Patrick, whatever. So it wasn't like I was face to face. It was more like I was going like this, looking down at him. So uh, uh, he said to me, I'm not one of your followers. Something to that extent. There's a video. This was on video. My lawyer recorded this, but I can't release that recording right now. The court said I can't. So after the case, but I don't know why. I don't know why the judge did not punish him for this, because this was absurd. He cussed me out, yelled at me, threatened me, and then he said, "What do I look like? One of your followers?" And I said, "No, you look like fucking Homer Simpson." And then he again turned away. The dude cowers so fast. Turned away, probably to cry. But all that is on video. All that is on video. To the point of me calling him Homer Simpson and him turning around like in defeat. I don't know what they were thinking, that I would be afraid of challenging them legally, that I would be afraid of standing up for myself and my family. Like, what are you guys can try any of these nasty tactics. I'm never going to back down. But the worst part of this is that they came after our expert. I had to go see, myself, my wife, we had to see a psychotherapist, and for the damage they caused, because they wanted to know emotional damage, because we said, we've done mental damage as well. The psychotherapist determined we had PTSD, which sucks. It's not funny. It's not great. And then we talk about like other things that have happened in our medical history and stuff that has happened that's impacted this, made this worse or whatever. And we said, this is like private information. So yeah, it's protected information. With only the other party's lawyers would see this as well. Well, then once that information got to the side, they immediately disseminated that information to Joey and Richard Luthman, who then used that to harass my wife, who has no social media presence whatsoever, has never interacted with anybody. He starts targeting her because he's too afraid of me. He starts targeting her and her family, and her sister-in-law sends her sister-in-law a package in the mail, a threatening package in the mail, talking about killing me, saying, open this in front of your sister, and try to scare me out of this case. Meanwhile, they sent so many threats to my expert and medical experts and stuff that they had to withdraw, citing, saying that they're getting nonstop threats from Joey Camp. So, like, at this point, I feel like the case is going to get defaulted and we're going to win and it's over, because that is crazy shit. That is such crazy shit. And on top of that, instead of saying we don't know Joey, do you know what they said? They filed something that said that they should be allowed. They filed something that said they should be allowed to disseminate things to Joey. And we're like, why? Like, well, he's still an employee. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, like, there's our proof. There's our proof. That's so crazy of them. There's our proof. There's our proof. We won, right? Like, I'm just, so right now I'm just kind of waiting. There's a hearing actually right now. My lawyer's in a hearing right now. I don't know what's going to happen, but if by the end of this meeting, like, it's not over, I will be very confused. Well, I mean, anything could happen. I'm not the judge. I don't know the things the judge, the judge has the way of doing things. I'm not a judge. I don't know how things work. So we will see. But like, if I were to guess from an, not a professional in the field kind of point of view, I would imagine this is over now. Like, I would imagine like that would default them, because as I'm like feeding, like I went and try, as I'm asking like ChatGPT or whatever, like what part of this, all the things they did, here are all the things they did, which part is the major crime? The intimidating witnesses part in federal court. That is a huge, insanely huge crime. Okay, so that part, yeah, okay. So I wanted to make sure because I thought so. So yeah, I did notice that Richard Luthman and Joey both immediately backed off. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know if they think that if they scare me enough that I'm going to stop. I won't. Like, I made a video just to make it clear so they'll knock this shit off. I'm like, look, instead of targeting people in my life, just if you could walk up to me and stab me in the neck, I'm still not going to stop. I'm still not going to, I mean, you can't do that. Don't do that. But I'm saying, like, even if they did, I'm not going to stop this case. Nothing is going to scare me out of this. I will get justice for my kids. Plain and simple. I'm not afraid. I'm not going to be afraid. I mean, you already gave me PTSD. So what else are you gonna do? I'm gonna make myself whole. I'm gonna make it right, and I'm gonna make them accountable for what they did. So that's where we're at. So today's a pretty big day because my lawyer is in a hearing right now. It's a motion to compel discovery hearing because they're not handing anything over, and they're trying to pull things from like me. They're just using the court to try to pull things from me. For a reason I don't know. They think they're going to try to embarrass me out of, like I said, I don't care. I don't care what you pull. I do care, but like I'm not going to stop my case, right? Like I do care what they get. Obviously, I don't want to give them anything. I have to do whatever the court tells me to do. But the point is that I'm going to do this. I'm not going to drop my case just because I know they're going to threaten me. Now, here's what I think. Like I would love to hear what you guys think. So the judge today is presented with the fact that we have two declarations. Me saying my sister-in-law is getting packages in the mail, threatening packages in the mail, talking about killing me. My experts had to withdraw, and Joey had convinced him that he was going to kill me. After 3 years of receiving all these emails and text messages threatening to kill me, like at a certain point, and this whole time, I wish you guys would have seen me in the room with the mediator. I think that was the best moment. And unfortunately, that part of this whole thing is not documented or televised anywhere. But he had the mediator for it with the very first time. Because when you first start the case, they try to say, hey, let's try to resolve this. I go, okay, they did all this stuff to me. If they want to give me $5 million, I'll back off. And he went to talk to him and came back and said, it's not civil court, it's federal court. Well, I mean, it's a civil case. Sorry. It's a civil case, but we're in federal court. So he came back and he's like, well, she's saying you did something wrong. Okay, well, she's lying. So what she's saying is a lie. Even like the manuscript she tried to publish about what she's saying was rejected as misinformation. So the stuff she's saying about me is not true. He goes, talks to her, come back, and this is hours and hours of just wasting time because like they had no case. Well, mediator came back. He started saying like, they're not willing to compromise. You're not willing to compromise. They did say if you wanted to shake your hands and go different ways, we could do that. And I said, no, I was harmed. And he said, well, she believes she was harmed. Like, she wasn't. And he goes, well, let me tell you the story. One time, there's a story of these two cats, and they each want to stand on the fence. But every time one goes on there, they fight the other cat. And I'm like, stop your dumb story about the cats right now. And he said, excuse me. I'm like, listen, for like 2 years, at this point it's 2 years, for 2 years they've been abusing me nonstop. And I said nothing. I've said nothing and I've done nothing. I just haven't done a single thing. I just sat there and I took it. I took it for years. And the reason I did is so when I get to court to sue their asses, I wouldn't be stuck in a room with a full-grown man telling me a story about cats to gaslight me into thinking that I wasn't harmed. Get over there and see if they're willing to if they're willing to pay up what they owe, or we're going to trial. That's it. Dude, that mediator shut the fuck up so fast. He's like, I'll go talk to him. I'm like, yeah, go. Dude, my lawyer was so happy. He was like, that was good. That was really good. I'm like, that was from the heart, man. Like, that was bullshit what he was trying. That was absolutely from the heart. He's like, the only reason he's in there right now is because of what you said. I'm like, I know. Because it's the right thing, because I'm right. Let's see, I'm right, and I know how to communicate. I'm damn good at communicating like how I feel and what I'm thinking. So I'm not going to trip up. I'm not going to and my lawyer's representing me on a contingency. So they're not going to waste my money. There's no way I'm going to lose this. I'm not going to sacrifice it. I'm not going to be provoked by them, but I'm also not going to drop this case just because they're doing more illegal shit. Send them to jail and I'll continue to sue them. How about that? And by the way, this is the advice I give to you guys too. Like, this is why it matters. This is why I didn't do shit. This is why I didn't do anything. So they wouldn't be like, oh, you did this, you did that. Nope, this is not a two-way street. This is not a back and forth. I simply reported on a story. You went insane. And then I've just been telling people that you've been doing it because, for my own safety. I've done nothing to you. The only thing she accuses me of doing is telling people what she's doing to me, or identifying her in a video for doing something to someone else. She never takes responsibility for her own actions. And she's whipped a fucking plastic surgeon to do whatever the hell she says. So it's just like all this money to a person who's out of her mind, psychotic. And I could say that about her while in a defamation case. Just like, that should be also eye-opening. I like the biggest thing that she really tried to change public perspective, whether it was paying people to write these fake blogs about me or whatever. She really tried to change the perspective. And the one thing I consistently kept telling the camera, anytime I had a chance to tell the camera, is that I've been calling her a child stalker for now 3 years straight. That's what I referred to her as a child stalker. In the fake lawsuit that they filed against me, and this is before, it was like pretty much just all of it dismissed. In the fake lawsuit that she filed against me, she came up with any reason to try to sue me. Any reason. Things that I wouldn't be able to do, things I've never done, things, just anything under the sun she could name. Interesting. None of that includes defamation for calling her a child stalker. That's what really I think became a milestone in the case, because that is kind of strange. They made up all these things that are not true that apparently I did, but the thing that I admit to doing, which is calling her a child stalker for 3 years straight, and I'm still doing it, she's never tried to sue me or claim defamation on that. And since then, she's had to admit to doing all that. So that's why. We know why now, but I knew. The idea that they were, from the beginning, they hid it. They hid that it was Jennifer and Ralph behind it. They were trying to put this all on Joey Camp, their hired goon, so that they could get away with it, basically, hide behind him. On what planet were they going to come after me through a paid expert hacker troll and think that I wouldn't be able to find them? On what planet? Like, what? Me? I'm not trying to be like, look, I'm not trying to blow smoke up my ass, but out of everyone you're going to go after, you want to go after me, and you think I'm not going to be able to do the thing that I do when I'm the person being attacked. Yeah, okay, it's you. I found you. Ta-da! I found you. I couldn't have done it without the help from a lot of people, though. A lot of people. What also didn't help is that she weaponized Joey Camp to come after her, everyone involved in that video, including her own family members who she believed her family members were involved. She had this idea in her head that I couldn't have possibly identified her without the help of her family coming forward and telling me. But that would mean that I had made a video asking people, but I did not. So why would they? And she herself knows that I got her name by asking her directly, and she was tricked and she gave it to me. So I don't know why she has in her head that her stepkid or something had anything to do with it. So she starts going after her own stepkid. This girl, I don't know, she's 8, 17, 18, just like 18 years old, like won't leave her alone, starts like harassing her. And I'm like, with Joey Camp. And I'm like, dude, she has nothing to do with this. It's unimaginable cruelty towards anyone around her. And then she like thinks that what, people won't figure it out. Her own employees wrote signed testimony that Jennifer Couture, Ralph Garamone, a full-grown man with a doctorate, or I don't know if you have a doctorate when you're plastic surgeon, and you do, doctorate, a full-grown man with a doctorate drove to my house and took pictures of my 1 and 5-year-old and took 2 employees with him while wearing a costume and a wig, a full-grown man with a doctorate. Then had a literal pedophile send me those pictures and threaten sexual violence against my kids. Dr. Ralph Garamone of Fort Myers, Florida, and his wife, Jennifer Couture. She would have just been known as the Florida woman in the Dunkin' parking lot. Now their reputations are irreparably damaged by their own actions. Who could recover from child stalking? Ralph Garamone, a man with a doctorate, is a dirty child stalker that associates with pedophiles. Not one pedophile, but literally 4. Man. They do some other despicable shit too. I was in a Halloween show every year when I was in my 20s. This is a cult classic Halloween movie, Night of the Living Dead. I played a zombie, and I was damn good at it too. I was good at the makeup, and I was good at all that. There are 2 characters. If you're familiar with Night of the Living Dead, chime in, like just the movie. And I'll tell you, because this part, there'll be something that I'd like you to confirm with me. If not, anybody watching this video after could easily confirm as well. There are 2 characters in Night of the Living Dead who die from an explosion at a gas pump. That is Tom and Judy. They're the young characters. Tom is going to fill up the gas tank for the truck so they can make their escape, but the truck is on fire from the Molotovs that they threw earlier, and so they're trying to tell him not to. And Judy had run out to go be with Tom earlier, so they blow up in a fire explosion. In the play, they come back charred zombies. It's really cool effect. They have a second set of clothes that they wear in the play, completely ripped up, and run through it's like darker charcoal makeup, whatever it's called, the makeup stuff they use to make like suit. Completely make that all charcoaly, make their bodies charcoaly, put hair gel. You take actual hair gel and mix it with fake blood. So it gives it a dark reddish kind of color, but it's also chunky. Put that on your face. You get tissues, paper towels like Bounty, and you put like, again, that red blood stuff on it, and you put it over your face. Oh, sorry, the base has to be soot. So you're putting soot all over your body, and then you put these red, like patches all over you. And so it's, and you got the white eyes, so it's like hollowed out eyes. So there's this picture that the Jennifer Couture, Ralph Garamone, and their co-conspirators have been spreading everywhere from that play of me standing next to one of the zombies with the suit, right? And claiming that this is my wife and claiming that she is black-facing. And to make it convincing, or it's not convincing, but to try to make it convincing, they put a sensor over my injury is not black, it's red. I've got my skull exposed. There's what's it called? I forget the name of that stuff, but the stuff that you attach to put on prosthetics. The word's slipping my mind, but it was a prosthetic with a bunch of this sticky stuff that I'm forgetting right now. But it was basically like a skull exposed. So they covered that so you wouldn't know that it's like Halloween. And then they said, this woman, yes, Romero, yes, George Romero, yes. They said this woman is blackfacing in a play and that it's my wife. And but this is a play where the lead is black. Um, and so not that it like caught on to anything, because it's really disturbing that somebody would look at zombie makeup and say it's blackface. That in itself is racist. But also now this guy sent to emails, I'm going to say her team, Jennifer Couture's team, sent emails to everyone at my wife's work, trying to get her fired, and also trying to start a chaos at the school, saying that there's going to be violence and stuff to try to, get us in trouble for something, and said that she was blackfacing and stuff, and her husband's a terrorist, trying to start a school like riot or something. The lucky thing is that we have our defamation case that we showed the staff, and we said, hey, just so you know, these people are defaming us. We are currently suing them. So they reported Jennifer Couture and everyone to the police for trying to start a riot at school, and they did not do anything. Jennifer Couture and her team, I don't know exactly how they put it, but that's what they did. And so then to this day, though, you have Richard Luthman, and I challenge you to go look at it. If you think it's blackface, you're racist. They actually have their own social media accounts, the zombies from that show. Like you could see it's a zombie. The idea that let me be clear about, since I'm somebody who would take something like that seriously, let me tell you the difference between how something could be like innocent and turned into something disgusting. If you're putting on a face mask, and I'm talking about the kind women put on, and sometimes it's black, where you're trying to get clear skin, right? That's not blackface. But if you go on camera and start talking, doing an impression of a black person, or trying to humiliate a black person while wearing that, then suddenly you took something that wasn't racist initially and you turned it into something racist, because now you are blackfacing. You could easily change that. So somebody could be in black zombie makeup, and if they start being racist about it, try to turn it into a minstrel show, yes, that is racist. Absolutely. If somebody is clearly doing blackface, yes, that is racist. Absolutely. But to go around saying any amount of black makeup on your face, especially one that's like a person dying from being burnt to death, is a black person, you are comparing black people to monsters. You're being racist. And I get you're trying to just cancel someone. I don't get it. I understand you're trying to cancel somebody. I don't understand either, actually. I can see that you're trying to cancel somebody, cancel someone because you don't like them, and you're trying to exploit the black community to do so. But context and intent, context and intent matters. It is also like critical in your accusation. When you have someone like Joey Camp making that accusation, who on his verified Gab page uses the N-word, people aren't really buying it. You're not really the people that care about that kind of thing. So what's awful about it is that, it's not going to work, of course, to do to me. So they target somebody who has done nothing to them or anybody, which is my wife. The unimaginable cruelty towards her makes her the biggest victim in this, actually. And why they think they're immune from any sort of prosecution, that is insane to me. There's a reason, we're not stupid. We're not going to respond or be provoked or anything like that. We're not like them. We have control of our impulses. And I am telling you guys, this is the advantage of having control of your impulses, because now we're in court. Watch how this will play out. So instead of playing a part in a movie. Okay, so obviously I'm not black, and it is not my place to tell you what is and what isn't okay. But at the same time, I am a human being that can use logic as well. And I understand what is and isn't okay. I don't need to be told. If I was going to do a movie, if someone was going to be in a movie, and this movie requires you to say the N-word as a character because you're playing a racist character. So I even in that case, as if this character is not being glorified, if this character is being glorified, then no, it's still racist, even if you're playing a part. You get it? there are ways of not doing it, but the thing is that if you're doing it to get away with it, even that's still racist. You know what I mean? And to me, honestly, I just wouldn't. And the reason is because it would be, even if your intent is pure, you just have bad actors who just will, not bad actors, but like outside of the movie, people who are going to use that to just, be racist. You know what I mean? Like, even if you do it in like a way where you're like, I portrayed this so, and I'm not even giving an example. I'm just saying you portrayed it in a way that you feel is respectful. You feel showed that the racist person was bad or died at the end or whatever. Still, that image of you being that racist person exists. And even though you're playing a part, it's still there. Do I want something like that? No, I don't. I'd rather not. That could still be used to bring harm to people. You know what I mean? Like, think about Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Do you think it was appropriate? He was playing a racist kind of liberal guy who thinks that he could just have black skin to better, like, he's making fun of the actor, but he's doing it. Like, he's still doing it, and that the gifs and pictures of him as a black person is used to, to either be hurtful to people or to derail a conversation about race. So then, even though intent is good and everything, it makes me think like, someone else says, perfect example, Django. I forgot about Django. DiCaprio didn't want to say things he said in Django Untrained, but it took Jamie Foxx to tell him to get into the character, do the role of Calvin Candy. All right. And he played that role really well. He played that role really well too. As a Middle Eastern person, the history behind that word is not one that I was involved in. However, I have had that word, the N word, I've heard used against me, with the word sand in front of it. So my experiences with that word are very negative. It's a word that's used on me that I can't say, but I don't want to say it. That's not like, it's not like I'm complaining. I don't want to say it. And I do not, it's not my place to dictate whether black people say it or not. They take back that word, more power to them. But for me, I could only speak on me, and what's going on with my hair? I don't have a desire to say it, but also that word is used to hurt me. So it's like, I don't really like that word. Like, I have so many reasons not to like it, but I just don't really want to. I don't understand the people who say, why can't I say it? Why do you want to say it? Why do you want to say it? Oh, why? It's used by your people to hurt people. Why? Why do you want to say it? You want to hurt someone. You want to hurt someone when you say that. That's what it sounds like. It's like it's like being rejected. Like, it's like you go to buy a gun and getting rejected because of some sort of criminal record, and you go, well, why can't I have one? Well, because why do you want one? Why do you want it? The fact that you want it is a disqualification. Like, what? I guess my thing sort of is like, I don't understand why people can't be kind to each other. When I run into people in person, when I run into people, whether like it's somebody is like going in a door before me, like they'll hold the door for me. In general, I don't experience the day-to-day racism in the town that I live in, as much as I did when I was in a city. But I don't experience a lot of the day-to-day racism as much. But actually, I got an important phone call. I gotta go, guys. I'm so sorry. I love you. That direction was gonna say I do experience this kind of racism, so I wasn't gonna say that racism doesn't exist. That's not where I was going. Anyway, I love you all. Gotta go. Important phone call. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.